Hello and welcome to Grade 7 Math. This is lesson number 5.2, Calculate Percents. As we have learned, fractions can be used in a number of real-life situations. There are other times, however, when it is easier to understand a situation that is written as a percent. For example, a quiz score is easier to understand when it is written as a percent. Now, here's a question for you to think about, and then we'll discuss it in tomorrow's class. What are some other situations when it is better to write a percent instead of a fraction? You probably know this already, but let's review. A percent is always out of 100. There are different ways to change a fraction to a percent. If a fraction has a denominator of 100, then the numerator is the percent. So, looking at this example, 17 over 100, the numerator is 17, so that means that 17 over 100 equals, you guessed it, 17%. Another method is to write an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. So I'm going to go through these first two examples with you, and the second two we'll work on together in class tomorrow. So looking at 3 over 4, we've actually looked at this in previous classes, so probably right off the bat you know that 3 over 4 is equal to 75 over 100, which of course equals 75%. Looking at our second example, 9 over 10, well, we can easily make that the fraction of 100. Okay, we're multiplying by 10, basically just adding another 0 on to the end. So of course on top we have to multiply by 10. That gives us 90 over 100. Of course 90 over 100 equals 90%. So again, pause the video for a couple of minutes and try out these two examples here, 23 over 25 and 33 over 50. Moving on. When we cannot write an equivalent fraction, we first need to divide the numerator by the denominator. Then we multiply by 100%. So let's try using this method to change these fractions to percents. And in case you're wondering, yes, for these fractions we can use a calculator to help us. So in this case, we're going to do 2 divided by 7. And I went ahead and calculated that. That gave me, if I round up, 0.29. Okay, and then I'm going to multiply 0.29 by 100. If I multiply, in the end, I get 29%. So pause the video and try these three examples, which we will take up in class tomorrow. Forging ahead, we can also represent percents visually. For example, this is a very familiar diagram here, and we look at this and we can tell that this represents 25%. So let's look at the first example together. This diagram here shows that 3/4 have been shaded in, which means 75%. In this diagram, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pieces all together. 3, 4, 5, 6 have been shaded in. So 6 out of 10. And pause the video, and I want you to come up with the answer for this diagram, which we'll take up in class tomorrow. Of course, any good math lesson needs to finish with a word problem. Student council is thinking of holding a dance party. 60% of the student council members have to vote in favor in order for the party to be held. There are 15 members, 11 vote in favor. Did the student council decide to hold the party? Well, this is a question that's pretty big, folks, so we're going to go through this in class tomorrow. But for now, it's always a really good strategy to highlight important information in any word problem so that you have some basic numbers to focus on. Okay, now we know that in order for student council to hold the dance party, they need a vote of 60%. So that's their target. But then looking ahead, there are 15 members in total, and 11 out of those 15 vote in favor. So we need to find out if student council reached that 60%. So we have to do something with our numbers, 11 and 15. It's making me think that we need to come up with a fraction, which we then need to turn into a percent. So I've given you a couple of pretty helpful hints here. So pause the video and try working out a solution, and we'll go over this problem as well as the previous problems in class tomorrow. So just in closing, after we go over the sample problems on this video, I am going to be giving you time in class to work on a variety of problems involving converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. But for now, this concludes today's video.